So probably the biggest thing that I've been noticing recently is kind of this increase in tension in the atmosphere, right? Whether it's on social media, with people you're talking to, people you see on the street, seems to be a lot of tension around us. And I was going to lead and say negativity, but I don't necessarily believe it's all negative. I just believe some people are tense, and even people that are being optimistic and that are leading with, positive thoughts or, positive data are still just tense in the communication, right? There's just a lot of tension. And while that's not a problem, our country was founded on freedom of speech, freedom of press, the ability to discuss and debate things freely. That's fine, but I just want to kind of bring it to the front of your mind to just make sure it's not creeping into your day to day. I've kind of found recently that even in my own interactions, I've kind of unknowingly, or I guess just without realizing, entered in with kind of a negative mindset. People talking about certain things with this pandemic or current events, and me leading with kind of like a negative or argumentative mindset. And that's not generally how I've ever been. I've always kind of prided myself on trying to be as optimistic as possible. And I don't mean naive, and I don't mean walking around screaming positive affirmations. I mean just trying to look at the bright side of things, finding the silver lining, and optimism just being hope for better horizons in the future. And I've never seen anyone have an issue with that. And I think optimism is definitely a luxury that some people walk around with, because not everybody has the luxury of being optimistic. But that being said, even the most optimistic people, or the most positive people, or people with the brightest outlooks on life, you get in the wrong atmosphere, and it can start to seep in, right? And it can start to kind of creep its way in, and you kind of fall victim to it and join it almost without even realizing. And practicing mindfulness, now more than ever, I believe is important to catch ourselves not being in those moments. I've definitely had those moments where I've, encountered someone, bringing something up about this, and I start to argue, or I start to have a really strong opinion. And I've caught myself in those moments, not really understanding why I'm taking that approach or where it's coming from. And I feel like a lot of it just contributes to what's going on in the energy around us. So, my message for you today is to just focus on the emanation of your own positive energy, right? Putting out your beliefs, having the autonomy in the way that you feel, and not getting sucked in to the vortex right now that is social media madness, that is this media fear-based, craze that's happening with people talking about this virus and the death rate and, all the negative things that are going to come out of it, right? I mean, we have the experience, or the option to experience this in one of two different ways, which is one is to look on the negative side of things, right? And one is to be optimistic for the future. Either way, whatever data you're looking at in the present moment, you have the option to do one of those two. So just reminding you, it's okay to be optimistic. It's okay to have your own viewpoint on this. And it's okay if your viewpoint doesn't align with others. That doesn't mean you have to be confrontational. That doesn't mean you have to stoop to a new low or be negative. It just is what it is. At the end of the day, this thing is going to shake out the way that it's going to. And, how you look back and the way that you experienced it is up to you. So, optimism, I don't think ever hurt anybody. And neither did a little positive outlook. So smile. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. And I will talk to you soon.